Have you ever stood up from a chair and thought, wow, that felt harder than it used to? Maybe going up the stairs leaves you more winded than expected. Or carrying groceries that once felt light now takes a little extra effort. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. And it's not your fault. Aging brings changes to the body, and one of the most frustrating is losing muscle strength. But here's the good news. There's one simple habit, just one daily action, that can help you bring that strength back. Yes, even in your 70s, 80s, and beyond. Now, I know it might sound a little too good to be true. After all, we've been told for years that getting weaker is just a part of growing older, right? But that's not entirely accurate. Sure, changes happen, but many people don't realize just how much strength they can restore, even regain, when the body is given what it needs. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. I want to show you not just how to stop the decline, but how to bring your muscles back to life again. We're not talking about hours at the gym or heavy lifting. You don't need fancy equipment or expensive supplements. What you do need is consistency and a small shift in how you move your body every day. Because the truth is, your body wants to stay strong. It's built for it. And when you give it even a little of the right kind of activity, the results can be truly remarkable. Let's imagine a typical day. You wake up, shuffle into the kitchen, maybe put on some coffee or tea, read the paper or scroll on your phone. You might do a bit of light housework or head out for a walk, then sit back down for lunch or rest in the afternoon. And by evening, you might feel like your energy has drained away, even though you didn't do anything too strenuous. That slow energy loss? That heaviness in the legs or arms? That's often not just getting older. That's your muscles whispering to you, we're getting weaker, and we need your help. Muscles don't just vanish overnight. They gradually shrink from underuse. The medical term for this is sarcopenia, but we don't need to get technical. All you really need to know is this: your muscles are like a bank account. If you don't make deposits, if you don't use them regularly, they slowly empty out. But if you give them just a bit of daily attention, the strength comes back. The energy returns. The ease of movement, it improves more than you might think. And that brings us to the one habit I want to talk about today. Daily resistance movement. Now before you tune out and think, oh no, I'm not lifting weights, hold on. Resistance doesn't have to mean weights. In fact, your own body weight is one of the most powerful tools you have, and it's free. Just a few minutes a day of intentional, gentle resistance, like standing up and sitting down from a chair slowly, using your legs without help from your hands, can trigger your muscles to rebuild. Think of something as simple as pressing your palms together in front of your chest and holding that pressure for 10 seconds. You're engaging your arm, shoulder, and chest muscles. Or slowly rising onto your toes and lowering back down a few times while brushing your teeth. That works your calves and helps with balance, too. These little moves, done daily, become signals to your body. We're still using this muscle. Don't let it go. I've spoken to so many people over 70 who thought their strength was just gone for good. But after a couple of weeks of doing gentle resistance exercises daily, just 5 to 10 minutes a day, they noticed changes. Standing up became easier. Lifting things didn't feel like such a chore. One woman told me she could open her stubborn pickle jars again, and that was a bigger victory than it sounds. Here's why it works. Resistance movement activates your muscle fibers in a way that tells your brain, hey, we're still needed. And when that message gets through, your body responds. It doesn't matter if you're 65, 75, or 85. Your muscles are always listening, always ready to rebuild. You just have to talk to them through movement. And this habit becomes even more powerful when you combine it with good posture and breathing. If you sit tall instead of slouching, your core muscles engage more. If you take deeper breaths, your oxygen flow improves, feeding your muscles better and making movement feel lighter. It's not about doing more, it's about doing the right things in small doses, consistently. Another example. Next time you're waiting for the microwave, do some gentle heel lifts or side steps. Watching TV. Try doing slow, controlled shoulder rolls or knee lifts during commercial breaks. These might not sound like much, But over time, they wake up your muscle groups, improve circulation, and rebuild the coordination that often fades with age. And perhaps most importantly, these tiny mindful movements boost confidence. You begin to feel stronger in your own body. You trust your balance more. That little wobble when stepping off a curb becomes less scary. That moment when you reach overhead to grab something off a shelf doesn't feel like a gamble. You begin to move through your day with a little more ease, and a lot more pride. It all starts with one small, daily habit, done not to exhaust your body, but to energize it. Something you can commit to every day, like brushing your teeth. That's how lasting strength returns. Not in giant leaps, but in quiet, steady steps forward. Now that we've explored how something so small can make such a big difference, let's go a little deeper into the kind of resistance movements that are safe, enjoyable, and especially effective for seniors. One of the best things about resistance movements is how flexible they are. You don't need to join a class, and you certainly don't need to become a fitness fanatic. All you need is your body, a little space, and the willingness to give your muscles a moment of your time each day. And trust me, once you start noticing the difference, it'll feel less like a chore and more like a gift you're giving yourself. Let's talk about some examples you can easily work into your routine. One of the most effective, underrated moves is something we already do, sitting and standing. But instead of plopping down into a chair or pushing yourself up with your arms, try doing it slowly, with intention, using just your legs. This turns a simple everyday action into a resistance workout. Try 5 slow stands from a chair, once in the morning and once in the evening. That alone can help strengthen your thighs, hips, and core. Another simple move? Wall push-ups. Not the kind you see athletes doing on the floor. These are much gentler. Stand about arm's length from a wall, place your hands flat on it, and slowly lean in and push back. You're working your arms, shoulders, and chest, all while staying upright and stable. Start with 5. Work your way to 10. It's surprising how quickly you'll start to feel more solid in your upper body. And if your knees are stiff or your legs feel unsteady, you can try seated leg lifts. Sit tall on a chair, tighten your thigh, and slowly raise one leg out straight. Hold for a few seconds, then lower it back down. Alternate legs. This strengthens your quadriceps, muscles that are vital for balance and walking with confidence. If you want a fun way to make it more engaging, turn on some music while you do it. Something you love. It adds energy and turns the whole thing into something you actually look forward to. This isn't about grinding through reps. It's about tuning into your body and feeling good as you move it. Now here's something interesting. Studies have shown that even minimal resistance training, just 2 or 3 short sessions a week, can increase muscle mass, improve balance, and reduce fall risk in older adults. But when you make a habit of just a few minutes every single day, your body starts to adapt in powerful ways. It's the daily consistency that matters more than intensity. Let me share a story with you. A man named Harold, 78 years old, used to rely heavily on his cane. He said he felt like his legs were made of jelly, and every trip to the grocery store felt like a marathon. He started doing simple chair stands and wall push-ups for just 5 minutes a day. After 2 weeks, he noticed it was easier to get up from the couch. After a month, he forgot to use his cane when walking through the kitchen, and didn't even realize it until his daughter pointed it out. It didn't happen overnight, but it happened. One little habit, repeated daily, gave Harold a freedom he thought he'd lost for good. That's the kind of change I want for you. Because life after 60, 70, even 80, it isn't supposed to be about shrinking back. It's about staying strong enough to keep doing the things you love. Whether it's gardening, walking with your grandkids, dancing in the living room, or just standing tall with confidence. Now, if you're worried about hurting yourself, let me put your mind at ease. These movements are gentle, safe, and easy to modify. If you ever feel discomfort or strain, you can slow it down, use a support like the back of a chair or a countertop, and keep the movements within your comfort zone. The goal is not to push your limits. The goal is to wake up your muscles, and once they're awake, they'll take it from there. And it's not just about the physical side of things. There's something deeply emotional about regaining strength. It brings a sense of control, a sense of pride. When your body starts responding, when you feel yourself standing taller, lifting easier, moving smoother, it's empowering. You start to trust your body again. You feel more independent, more resilient. That kind of confidence is priceless. What's even better is that this habit isn't limited to mornings or a certain part of your day. You can do it whenever it suits you. After breakfast, during your favorite TV show, even before bed as a wind-down routine. It's your habit, your time, your body. You get to decide when and how you show up for it. So often we're told what we can't do as we get older. We hear the warnings, be careful, don't overdo it, take it easy. But here's something we don't hear enough. You're still capable. Your muscles still respond. You're still strong. Maybe not in the same way you were at 40, but in a wiser, more intentional way. And that strength is yours for the taking. When you adopt this one simple habit of daily resistance movement, it's like sending a message to your future self. It says, I'm still here. I'm still strong. And I'm not giving up. Every time you do it, no matter how small, you're investing in a better tomorrow. Now that we've explored how and why these daily movements work, let's take a moment to talk about something just as important. What to pair this habit with so your body has the fuel it needs to rebuild stronger than before. Because no matter how much you move your body, it won't rebuild and grow stronger without the right fuel. Think of your muscles like a construction site. If you don't deliver the building materials, progress stops. That's where nutrition, especially protein, becomes your secret weapon. Now, I know many folks over 60 think they eat enough protein. After all, you might have eggs for breakfast, a sandwich at lunch, maybe some chicken at dinner. But here's the truth. As we age, our bodies don't process protein the way they used to. We actually need more of it, not less, to stimulate muscle repair and growth. It's not about eating huge portions or downing protein shakes like bodybuilders. It's about being intentional with what you eat. If you're doing daily resistance movements, even just a few minutes a day, your muscles are begging for support. Giving them a steady supply of high-quality protein is like handing them the bricks and mortar they need to rebuild stronger. So what does that look like in real life? Maybe it's adding a scoop of Greek yogurt with your fruit in the morning. Or having a hard-boiled egg as a snack instead of a cookie. Maybe it's choosing salmon or beans with dinner and making sure your plate has some color, some variety. Little swaps like that can make a world of difference. You could even try spreading your protein out across the day. 20 to 30 grams at each meal is a great target. That's roughly a palm-sized portion of meat, fish, tofu, or a hearty helping of legumes or dairy. It's not overwhelming. It's totally doable. And your muscles will thank you for it. And if you're someone who's lost your appetite lately, or you're just not a big eater anymore, that's common, and you're not alone. As we get older, our hunger cues change. But remember, this isn't about eating more food overall. It's about eating smarter. You can boost your protein intake with small, nutrient-dense snacks. A bit of peanut butter on toast. A slice of cheese with an apple. Even a warm mug of milk in the evening. It all adds up. And don't forget hydration. Water might not seem directly related to muscle strength, but it plays a huge role in how your body functions. Every muscle contraction, every joint movement, every signal your brain sends to your limbs, it all relies on proper hydration. If you're doing your daily movements but you're not drinking enough water, your body will feel sluggish, tight, even dizzy. So keep that water bottle nearby. A well-hydrated body moves more freely and recovers faster. Something else that gets overlooked? Sleep. It's when your muscles actually repair and grow stronger. So if you're moving your body and eating well, but staying up too late or waking up often, your progress might stall. Prioritize your rest like you would any other part of this habit. Give yourself permission to wind down at night. Turn off screens. Listen to calming music, or read something light. Your muscles need downtime to do their job. Now, let me pause here and say something that really matters. If you've had a hard year, if you've been through illness, loss, or just periods of inactivity, it's okay. You're not behind. You haven't missed the boat. No matter what your past has looked like, you can start again today. That's the beauty of the human body. It wants to heal. It wants to grow. And it responds even when you think it's too late. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. A few minutes a day, a little protein with each meal, a glass of water here and there, and restful sleep at night. That's the foundation. That's the one daily habit we're really talking about here. A commitment to movement, nourishment, and rest. A habit of honoring your strength, not chasing youth, but reclaiming vitality. It's about moving with purpose, fueling with care, resting with peace. That's the formula. And it's simpler than it seems. You might be wondering how long it takes to feel the difference. For many people, it's as little as 2 weeks. That's it. Just 2 weeks of short, daily practice. You'll notice it in the way you stand up from a chair, in how you carry groceries, in the way you walk across the room without gripping the furniture. The change is subtle at first, but then one day it hits you. You feel stronger, steadier, more like yourself again. And once you feel that, it becomes something you don't want to give up. It's not about chasing some ideal version of yourself. It's about staying you, and doing the things you love for as long as possible. Whether that's dancing, playing cards, baking with your grandkids, or tending to your garden, this one habit can help you keep doing it. If no one's told you this lately, let me be the one to say it. You're doing a great job just by being here. By watching this, by caring about your health, by considering a new habit. That alone is a powerful step forward. And I'd love to hear how it goes for you. If you decide to give this daily strength habit a try, come back and leave a comment. Share your progress, your questions, your small victories. Someone else might read your story and feel inspired to start too. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up. It tells YouTube that this content is valuable and helps it reach more people who might need it. And if you'd like more simple tips like this one, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. You deserve to feel strong. You deserve to feel steady. And you absolutely deserve to enjoy your life without limits, no matter your age. Here's to restoring your strength, one day at a time. Now, if you're still with me, I want to take a moment to go even deeper, not just into what this habit does for your body, but what it does for your confidence, your independence, and even your sense of joy. Because let's be honest, losing muscle isn't just about getting weaker. It's about losing the freedom to live life on your terms. It's the quiet frustration of not being able to open a jar, or needing help to get out of the car, or feeling unsure every time you step off a curb. And sometimes, that loss creeps in so slowly, you don't even realize it until something small becomes a big deal. But here's the beautiful part. Strength is more than physical. When you start building it back, even a little, you feel it in your mind too. You start walking taller, breathing easier, maybe even smiling more. That quiet frustration gets replaced with quiet confidence. And that's worth everything. I've heard so many stories from folks in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, who say, "I didn't think I could ever feel strong again." But once they committed to just one simple daily habit, those short strength movements we talked about, paired with some mindful protein and rest, they started doing things they hadn't done in years. One woman told me she started lifting her great-grandchild again. Another said he could finally carry in the groceries without needing 2 trips. These aren't giant wins to the outside world, but to them, it meant everything. And it can mean everything to you too. Now maybe you're sitting there thinking, "But I've got arthritis," or "My knees aren't what they used to be," or "I've had a few falls." That's real, and I want to acknowledge it. You have to listen to your body. But don't confuse listening with limiting. You can adapt movements. You can start seated. You can go slow. There is always a version that works for you. And if you're ever unsure, check in with a physical therapist or doctor who supports aging actively. They'll help you build something safe and personal. And I want to share something powerful with you before we wrap up. You don't need anyone's permission to start feeling better. You don't need a gym, fancy clothes, or the latest gadgets. All you need is a little curiosity, a few minutes, and the belief that it's not too late. Maybe you start today with just one simple action. A wall push-up before breakfast. A few leg lifts while watching the evening news. A protein-rich snack after your walk. These small acts might not look like much, but stacked together, day by day, they create momentum. And momentum is what keeps us young, not just in our muscles, but in our spirit. You've lived through so much already. You've faced challenges, raised families, built careers, cared for others. And now, it's your turn to care for yourself, not out of vanity, but out of respect. Because this body has carried you through a lifetime, and it deserves to keep going strong. If you take one thing from this video, let it be this. Strength isn't gone, it's just waiting to be reawakened. And you have everything you need to bring it back. Not someday. Not after the holidays. Not when you feel ready. Now. So let's commit together. One habit. Every day. Just a few minutes that belong to you and no one else. And watch how those minutes add up. Not just in stronger muscles, but in a stronger sense of self. If you found this video encouraging, please give it a thumbs up. It helps more people like you find these messages. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so we can stay connected. I'd love to keep walking this journey with you, step by step, day by day. And finally, drop a comment below. Let me know, what's one thing you're going to start doing today to restore your strength? Your answer might inspire someone else to take their first step, too. Remember, you are not too old. It is not too late. And your strongest years can still be ahead of you. Here's to reclaiming your power, one small habit at a time.